Oh, brother, who would have thought those words would have ever came out of my mouth? Not me. I'll put it this way. 5 years ago, if you'd have told me I'd be saying that in a video, I'd call you a straight up liar, and I'd say you probably also on some drugs. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I hope all of you out there are having a fabulous and fantastic Monday. If not, I hope this video can make it a little bit better. As most of y'all know, or if you don't know, I'm about to inform you, I love Mondays because everybody, they hate them. That's when they drag along. That's when everybody's sluggish. And that's when people like me, people like you, we can get ahead in life. I love Mondays, man. I really do. Because if you dominate Monday, it makes the rest of the week easy. And that's what I need y'all to do for me. I need y'all to dominate today. Do it for me. Whether that's work, career path, your relationship, anything you do today, I need you to dominate, be the best version of yourself. Now, getting motivational Matt out the way, today, guess what today is? July 24th. Why does that matter? Well, it depends how you look at it. If you just look at it from a day-by-day standpoint, no, this day's irrelevant. It's just another day. But, and I have a really big but, if you look at this day on the grand scheme of things, you know what it means? We're one day closer to college football. And I'm not going to lie to you guys and girls, shout out to the female viewers by the way, I am itching out of my skin to see some football. At this point in time, I don't care if it's Hawaii and Vanderbilt. I need to see some college football. Let me know if y'all are in the same boat as me, but in today's video, we got two very unique topics to talk about and speak on. One of those is going to be, I was scrolling on Twitter and somebody tagged me, or I had a couple people send me this, and it was pretty much some random 2023 college football playoff prediction. And when I saw the list, I was like, you know what? Why don't we make our list? Because I've never done that on the channel. This is going to be the first ever Matt Be Great preseason college football playoff prediction. I'm excited to get into that, and also I want to speak on this ACC and Pac-12 dilemma going on. I'm going to assume almost 100% of you have no idea what's going on, and I'm going to get into all of that. Those are going to be the two topics we speak on in this video, and man, oh man, I'm just so excited. What are we, 4 or 5 weeks away? It's coming, baby, it's coming. Hope all of you have a great start to your week. All right, Matt, blah, 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 shut the crap up. Now, without further ado, get into it. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about this Pac-12 and ACC situation that I've already spoke on and I've hinted at, I've thrown shots at multiple times, but I've never really focused on it. If you've been keeping up with the channel, you would know for, I'd say, the past year now, I've stated the Pac-12 is no longer the worst conference in the Power 5. That is the ACC, and it's not even close. The ACC is pitiful, and it's embarrassing outside of Clemson and Florida State. It's awful. And we're not going to dive into this too much, but you could argue and say the Pac-12 is no longer just not the worst conference, but they're a top 3 conference. For me personally, I got the SEC at number 1, I got the Big Ten at number 2 just because of the heavy hitters, and I got the Pac-12 at number 3. And all in all and overall, you might could argue and say, and I'd hear you out, that the Pac-12 is better than the Big Ten overall. The Big Ten just gets carried so much by their heavy hitters, Ohio State, Penn State, and Michigan. I want y'all to take a look at this. Ignore the Pac-12 logo. Look at these teams. USC, top 10 team. Washington, probably a top 20 team. Utah, top 20 team. Oregon, top 20 team. Oregon State, top 20 team. And UCLA, a fringe top 25 team. These are all good, if not really good teams. And all of these teams, the 6 right here, they're going to be in the top 25. On the right side of this, 7 through 12, it is what it is. Not really good teams. But that's how it goes for most conferences. Your last 6 teams aren't going to be great. I want you to really think about this. If you took out that Pac-12 logo and just switched it with an ACC logo, think about all of the hype they'd be receiving. If the ACC had USC, Washington, Utah, Oregon, and Oregon State and UCLA, the hype around that conference would be right up there with the SEC. But since it's in the Pac-12, most people are just like, oh yeah, it's Pac-12, that's a soft and weak conference, blah, 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 blah. And I want y'all to take this into account. If you've been watching, well, probably not the last year. I know a lot of y'all just joined last year. But if you've been a part of our community, been watching the channel for the past 2 or 3 years, you would know nobody has laughed at the Pac-12 more than me, myself, and I. From 2014 up until 2021, the Pac-12 has been a laughing stock. It was awful, and trust me, if you were here a couple years ago, you would know nobody shamed the Pac-12 more than me. But, and I have a really big but, not only am I going to dish it out, but I'm also going to give credit when it's due. At least currently, this could change and they could go back to their crappy ways, but the Pac-12, they're the real deal. Am I saying they're up there with the SEC? Heck to the nah. But here's what's funny to me. If you were to put these 6 teams in the Big 12, in the Big 10, or even the ACC, the hype around him would be immaculate. And this goes hand in hand with what I'm talking about. Take a look at this tweet right here. I'm glad I'm not the only one who sees it this way. If the Pac-12 had an ACC sticker on it, people would be hyping it up as the most-watched conference of 2023. That's the reality. And oh yeah, speaking of this, I didn't even bring them up. What about Colorado? They're must-see TV. This will be the first year in a very long time that I'm actually going to be going out of my way and staying up late night to watch these Pac-12 games. I've never felt that way before, but take a look at this. USC, Caleb Williams, must-see TV. Washington, Michael Penix Jr. I'm not going to say must-see TV, but really good team. Utah, really good team. Oregon, got Bo Picks. Oregon State, they got DJ Ugabadoogie from the ACC. UCLA, they're going to be up there. And last but not least, Colorado. You know what? Let me put it this way. If you were to throw Clemson in this conference, I'd say they'd go about 9-3, 10-2. But since Clemson's in the sorry ACC, at probably bare minimum, they're going to go 11-1. It's sad to say it, but it's the reality. The ACC is the new Pac-12. I don't know why the Pac-12 is not receiving a lot of hype, but I did want to speak on that because they do need some love. You want to see some good football this year? Tune into some Pac-12 games. Oh, brother, who would have thought those words would have ever came out of my mouth? Not me. I'll put it this way. 5 years ago, if you'd have told me I'd be saying that in a video, I'd call you a straight up liar, and I'd say you probably also on some drugs. Moving along here, though, into our main topic, the main reason you clicked onto this video, let's talk about this playoff and my prediction. I was tagged in this from College Football Kings on Twitter, and it's this person's top 4, or just the teams they got making the playoff. 1, Alabama. 2, Michigan. 3, Clemson. And 4, USC. I think this is a decent and fair list. I mean, there's really not a bad playoff prediction unless you have freaking, don't even get me started on this, Notre Dame. If you have Notre Dame making the playoff, irrelevant. Your list does not matter at all. Now, I assume this person has Alabama dropping a game, I guess, in the regular season, then beating Georgia in the SEC championship, presuming that Georgia makes it. I'm not really sure about the Michigan one. I assume they got them losing to somebody, then beating Ohio State. Maybe they lose to Penn State. Clemson one, probably dropping a regular season game, then winning the ACC championship, and same thing for USC. All dropping regular season games. Now, for me, here's how my playoff's going to look, and don't freak out about this. And by the way, let me know in the comment section if y'all want to see me do some season previews for every team, like break down game by game and predict what games I think they're going to win and what games I think they're going to lose. I could do one team per video. I don't know if y'all want to see that, but let me know. Anyways, like I was saying, here's my top 4, or my 4 teams making the playoff. At number 1, going 12-1, I got Alabama. Just like this person, I got Alabama losing in the regular season, but beating Georgia in the SEC championship. At number 2 on my list, I got the Ohio State. I think Ohio State drops a game to a team they shouldn't lose to, but they beat Michigan. They go 12-1, finish right behind Alabama. At number 3 in my playoff, I got Georgia. The reasoning for that is because I got Georgia going 12-0 heading into the SEC championship, but Alabama beats them, but still Georgia. They went 12-0. They're going to get in. At number 4 on my list, I think they finally piece it together. Lincoln Riley gets over the hump. I got USC. If Lincoln Riley can't make the playoff in this upcoming year, he never will. He's got arguably one of the best defenses he's ever had. Caleb Williams, he's one of the best college football players that have ever graced the landscape. Everything's lining up perfectly. Those are my 4 teams, and I'm extremely curious. Let me know in the comment section. We'll read some of the replies in tomorrow's video. Let me know who you think is going to make the playoff, what their record's going to be, and why. Like I said, we'll take a look at some of those comments and read them off in tomorrow's video. That's all I got for y'all today. Let me know your thoughts down below about that.